Focus. See, and then Yadisiano, ye baby see BBF bacterial infection. Bacterial infection, there are so many types of bacterial infections, but the baby focus on the most common one. I believe say bia nipa baako on ase mienu bi and I say bi kra majority of us no ebia ya exposed to it before but ye nimpo say no po na den ye nyaaya. So this particular bacteria ye ba be kan ho asem sending kind, there are so many types of bacteria but ye be focus on this particular one and no more efa like ye duane din ho and no any be focus on. So this bacteria no your friend is saying Escherichia coli, but the simple name most people adding anyway say E. coli. E. coli no a bacteria bia adding it stays a war ye nipedium a war ye yam a war ye gut and I say ye yamunium a wanipemu a sound or a mum. Most of the time, this bacteria is harmless, and I say harm to our body. A boy, it's me then, it's me a breaky down, and I said digestion process of the food. But this particular E. coli, there are so many strains of them. It's me causes obinya diarrhea. It's me ma obinya jonsoya and I say respiratory problems. It be quite to the point say it's me infection of your bloodstream, which is say no very very critical and I say no crano very dangerous. So unya sa infection no wo mojem. So this E. coli no senior science kakra ebusia E. coli no say kebiaka ye kosubeka say bacteria in its shape to say a rod shape to say bia kind of shapes and aboano etie and ultimate na environment side and from many ho and I say and from ho there are 6 different types of them, but the one that you focus on it produces toxins it's me then cause yare ema nipidiano. So E. coli no this is how it is in the rod shape no say na bacteria no it's here all these and says say and then a bomb wedding and more move around this E. coli no says that to say it produces toxins now and no and a bed a problem to the more who say they are fine because more boy yen or your guts digestion of food. And see say they're okay, but so almost started somewhere then more produces toxins now. And no a cost problem now. And no then you issue. So the Seneca cano and ma nipa a yare a produce toxin. So toxins see and no a producing I say a core your intestines when I say ye dear and ye ma as I said and mat nipa inya diarrhea. How do we get this particular bacterium from Chrome has said most of the time no in so shada anya de report to say bia contaminated because say no bottled water. Say bia you come Ghana and I say in other parts of the world that so free to say rivers, lakes, and I said and so well those kind of things maybe I'll make me a day anya this issue because for example rivers say emoa so enum frum na emoa ekọ toilet gu nsuo num na nipa kosa eno ebetima manya sa bacteria and aduanim yes I have say aduane to say bia yekoto fruits bi and I say yekoto nam from market na say bia through the process omo from the production more processing aduane no ebia some more cross contaminated with other stuff a bit mama then this E. coli then aba aduane no enim. America has say the well-known in from the health sector no if I say E. coli 0 and I say 0157. Yare is reported by CDC say America has say nipa in a year no nipa 265,000 in the nyasa infections where your omwa call hospital na den na ya test aka say oh yare we enomo nipa bebre wo ho a say almost started so munya infection na so almost started so mo coba from sanema aka say oh you food poison no den no I forget about it on call hospital MIU because say obetumi go through it the symptoms no ejai until obu ha because one call hospital until it's now reported but almost believe said this number now almost are reported 265,000 there is more than just the 265,000 nipa in that yare way every year. So into one at risk so much infection way nkwala ya wo mfoforo ena omo enyi no omo bank kakra no ena omo nyinyi the elderly nipa omo weak immune system say obi o cancer obi o diabetic and I say obi o HIV and I say obi o onyim because the immune system no aye weaken kakra until they can easily get this infection and almost so to kwan call we are to call different places. There any only one particular place. Definitely Africa, Europe, Asia, baby baby or high the lives of living or someone from streams, from rivers, that's your process in your year easily no with my then over 2 Korea Chrome has it table for almost different parts of the world. Person more try BBB. Yes, what's it? What try it now for wedding or the infection way abba. So symptoms obinya. What are the symptoms? The most common symptoms in say team behind suffer like we are very fatigued. And how do you say it? I say what bread be kitwe be no bread unya hodne kwa be de obasore fim pemu oyam eye wo ya na wo have cramps diarrhea obi wo ha diarrhea no started from say eye nsuo and all have sabo ho ase na eden aye all moja and eden onya afi susu ne bofuno no ontimi eden ndidi after no or physical account. Some people who are obenya or have fever, a low grade fever. So you know we are not tired in the fevers, but some people can have the fevers too as well. So infection started time a bit started as early say Eda Odi so coming in contact with the contaminated food, say ye drink, say ye diane of the bacteria. Obia body and I say obia immune system different. Obi ha best started to say that day now obi ha bed then the next day obi also swa within 5 to 3 days, how then or get it exposed, and no best started so bad or have the symptoms, The symptoms, you know, as I'm kind, which me started day one. It's me then stay a while till I say up to 10 days. And I usually, you know, yeah, very mild most of the time. So go or start so have a crap or heading or better if you check anything, because when you say just food poison at the core away. You see, it's a very, very mild. Also, to the point say very, very severe. The symptoms, you know, very, very severe. To blow her, say yes, severe sana, because okay. We might go through a day for maybe 5 to 10 days. I'm still having it. And I'm not calling a doctor about it. Then you check it to see the consult. This all called doctor why normal check here a stool test. You have to give them the stool, and I said toilet and I'm asking for. So stool no a solid and the test now. I say a year watery. A bit my blood crap, but I say a year diarrhea form. And then on bit my day. I ran a test, I finding out what the problem is. And ages 5 and younger almost also get exposed to this bacteria. A bit more I repair I'm develop what is called hemolytic syndrome. So syndrome is very, very dangerous. So is it because the toxins, you know, cause the diarrhea, I travel into the bloodstream. Yeah, some adults grab it mania because of the bloodstream. A bloodstream more. What happens? They say the red blood cells now produce moja for nipediano. It carry oxygen to the brain, to other parts of the body. It's me then almost to me a destroying this bacteria makes me a destroy red blood cells see to the point say if it's near the cause damage to the kidneys. Say the kidneys here damage that means it's a big problem. See, most of the time no say oh akola said this thing happen. We pray say it doesn't, but say exposure to this bacteria. Now we start to say who say akolano have a diarrhea. Akolano is not the same. The color cry is like oluku the same to you are. It's a tempano then what in the hospital near checking and just to make sure say the infection and yeah the alcohol in the bloodstream I started to say destroy the red blood cells. And that's the point said echo kidney because they're very, very life-threatening. Like I said in Kwalade, I feel no do baby. So here extra attention. The immune system now open to me fight it. Yareno abofrano only sa immune system to fight sa infection. Tis a or why less than 5 no sa idea where and tempana and tnatina as all the no hospital na yes no and now and mama who say America say it may affect 5 to 10% of individuals. That means say and yet very, very common, but at the same time it can happen as well. So what is the treatment for this bacterial infection? So we can mild it happen very mildly. No, not just in Siope, Betimianum, Pedialyte, Betimianum, Gatorade, Betimianum, what dear friend ORS, Betimia call over the counter, no, then Waka to be no one. And no, the more now come back from and I said the more now often you have to make sure say you keep this hydration going for you to be able to already electrolytes now higher off balance, it can all come back to itself again, because the more now we go bathroom, the more now often, the more now so draining out of you. Until you have to make sure say know a lot. I feel so any advisable so wunya sa infection yeah. For antibiotics, unless we go because oh, me kwakoto Imodium B na mafa na ayeden etwa diarrhea na me nyano. It's not recommended so beden obey sabarada no obema wo obema diarrhea na ayeden akoswa kopim se no ayeden ebetwa on its own. That means say na the bacteria no is out of your system. But so okofa edro and I say okofa Imodium now no more. Okay, wakati no, but still no, the infection no is still in your gut. I bet me reactivate itself. So the can a self-limiting to antibiotics feel in here, but at the same time no, say almost weak immune system. The same me kind the diabetics more HIV it's me even though it says be at 10 days it can pass that time no na then be a call 3 weeks. Some individuals no to me in say no I deal we are too much to me because immune system is weak. Those individuals, yes, even though say we don't want the antibiotics, but because of almost situation in see, do high if the more just 5 days of antibiotics for them to take. Sanebede bebwa amamo shorten the diarrhea no and then the vomiting because it's making them weak. Also too, say if you're an individual who needs immune compromised diarrhea be not say to me what try say hydrate but still now to me fear now fe kwana bathroom now we feel very very weaker. Very it's recommended so wedding emergency room your mouth drip of electrolytes your mouth be fire who bedding a basis so I'm out me up fear I'm all wedding I'll be live your life and I say wait till say it be try. Also I know say like traditionally and I say a lot about how to stop diarrhea because oh if you are DMO it's one but yes it's good but like in the beginning it's better so than I did not be running its course now I feel if you I'm what me then but it costs you too much you can also do the right say starch it binds to the diarrhea no so chemical hydration Pedialyte in Peniphosphate Pedialyte, Gatorade, Insio, ORS meaning no with me use so for it to help regain strength. So how do we prevent this from happening? Your number one way of preventing is proper hygiene. Practicing proper hygiene. Sometimes we will touch surfaces we don't even realize say the place was dirty and not say go so or whatever it may be. Maybe your subway your car wherever. We have to make sure say good hand washing. So we use to some now that's what good hand washing is. So yes, to say because of COVID into hand sanitizers, hand sanitizers are good, but we have to try our best. Say we use insure and some more. So we don't have it. If you have one, we don't have it yet, then we can go ahead and use the hand sanitizer. But hand washing, say you sue seminar and in here pay, especially using the bathroom, maybe one column change diapers, making sure saying we hand wash properly. Your fruits, your vegetables, you making sure say you're running through water. Me got to the point say, honestly, some of us, I'll use myself as an example. I may me support me to trim fruits and maybe me seminar cry me fruits because they do a harbour to fruits I say stick be some of us need our allergies in tea. We have to make sure say the especially raw fruits vegetables ya washing ye pay answer I feel so and nama ye making sure say you cook it and nominal to the at least to 145 temperature you making sure say you cooking it answer ye they're gonna for the we don't tend to eat the same real raw and numb but from have say for they can eat and never be raw no by making sure say you do any piano we cook it very very well answer ye I feel so say ye Daniel ye prepared Daniel kitchen. Sometimes we'll say trap jelly, tomatoes, Miss Animal. Open one say I feel wakakofa and now wedding. Try the same space now wedding. Try the vegetables and I say jelly tomatoes. You can't do that. You have to make sure say oh yeah one thing at a time. Say jelly tomatoes now try. Make sure say jelly tomatoes what you training in the area. What clean it so what wash what rinse it before answer what the enam ababeto aye enam ho ade wo ye enam ho ade a wo wi a what clean bibia answer what cut the next thing you cannot be mixing say wo charge any tomatoes na fe wakofa nam wakofa fish now you are all over the place no you can't do that cross contamination a bit me I then LED too. That's because say you never know. Say be here now from the factory no mpakura no eden or packaging adeno who knows ebia nensa akoka before can aduane which may have what which can have ebia na the E. coli the bacteria is already there baby or mudria. Actually, let me start from baby or mudia adriano. I free from a phone. If a phone honor, say be a moano, there are a more so over there, be an inchim, ponching, other stuff. Oh, now say there is a contamination. Almost feces, no, was soil, no my day, piano ye and buying, or man processing ye, be at the how they're supposed to process or be skip it through. Just to make sure say on my nyama fast for the nipa America ha that mistakes bit me I then lead to this E. coli infection. I believe say ebo how say or how recall juice way recall milk way recall and numb way because of these kind of cross contamination I say they find these especially this E. coli or in reality they have to recall and no remove from the shelf because saying we be hakudi aman pakona den ayare I feel so to say raw milk you making sure say no raw milk you make sure say milk be a tobiano is being what pasteurized means say they've killed all the bacteria in a woman answer then answer your fresh juices the do apple cider the apple cider juice now on above the tiny pie fall ebe you start seeing more of it so you making sure say but any of these in nano is being what pasteurized, well kept. Answer Eden. Koto bibina say I swatia, don't buy it. Make sure say wedding. We'll get a new bottle. And I say we cross it box, you know, and what here. If that's the only one I don't get it, just make sure say you get a different one. Now I think everything is okay. What be feel, what be prepared, why they so here the right way. So anyone and as will be anything in any of this exposure to this infection. Timpamocho, aha, ena, medibesi, any questions, any contributions? Oh, one thing, when it comes to the proper hygiene. Tell them you can kind of beginning. This bacteria, no, a bit me cause it. Johnson, yeah, especially because of how Nyankopon a boy I say how the vagina no any the rectum no is connected no, so go bathroom that's one clean here now wipe it from back to front who introduce bacteria into the vaginal area, and I said the vaginal canal, which can cause somebody to have genital. Yeah. It's a very, very important say. Or so you teach them say they wipe from front to back. Nobody should be wiping from back to front because you can end up having UTI. And I say, genital, yeah. Timpamotra aha, and I'm DBC questions, contributions. Pacho, the floor is open. Madam Asibebre.
Yo, my Mr. Yamin sure pass one man who can Yamina for so that addition that is a brain. That was Abusia for Yenabad Nanwesi, a Beno, so do as a booster and Nasem Webia, the Pamacho, a Bene, which me the Abba, nothing addition everybody, Madam Master.
Yo, doctor, that's wa addition tisa with the Maya. Equal no crowd the ya yentante wasem papa, but enede wadumunti wa mayati. Nampese mi busa say, so binya sa infection na was here isolating na. Anya sebe obi benye bia na nipa na was call isolation. Obinya equal
So usually no sebia obi kofa e de bafia. There is no need for isolation. The here part the most in say then you better wipe surfaces, especially kitchen, bathroom. Obe wipe when you now making sure say a penny and as a colon when you or washing your hands constantly or come bathroom or washing your hands. Or washing your hands. You don't have to isolate the individual, no? And airborne and droplets, but hand hygiene, no, is the best thing to prevent same wedding or be any be. So you make sure say and you want washing hands severely. And then when you start to when you start diarrhea and crap you don't even have to be in the kitchen, you have to stay away. But that's the only way. And here so be isolating. No. Unless they be on Pakone Yaripan, and you didn't get to hospital crapwa, you don't need to isolate the person. You make sure, say, you wash your hands. Maybe I say to say there's another infection, the most of the time, or hospital to say C. diff, and you have to isolate, but equal and no, you don't. See, and Sister Yam Patron, so my answer a question now.
Me patron, me da silly.
Patron of was so business in this.
Yo, sister, me parent be said them E. coli infection the associated diarrhea. How unable to distinguish from other a diarrhea, it's a bacterial diarrhea, or a different, like it talk about CDF and now a cholera. Now the other symptoms now otum or distinguish one from the other. That's
it. So, Senamidi you can the longer they have the diarrhea, they have the stomach pains, the cramping, they want to see a doctor. Say, nah, I did where I go to, and yet normal into where the doctor. Yeah, the only way for us to differentiate, is some pakwana wedding or baby that's 2 tests. We the 2 tests now. The results now a be free lab number. Lab no x-raying all the type of bacteria siding picky was stool into omorania almost shown then they will tell us what the type of bacteria it is. To the point so the type of bacteria no crap almost sign x-ray the antibiotics that it has to be treated with, because it more hard. Some of the bacteria, it be resistant to certain type of antibiotics into me you to say be we can say penicillin. No, it won't work because some of these bacteria, the toxins almost producing and almost some kind of like harder shell be a protective bacteria a drone now it's not going to cure it. And it's not going to treat it. There are specific antibiotics for everything. C. diff, one of the infections say obi any C. diff na so or caught bathroom. Uchna ha the smell no crap bet me at still on one hospital they know personal exposures the smell of it. But or caught bathroom now. It's say I say a crow the bray a woman. If you feel like so be bathroom be corner it be crap toilet be a crap not just a crow kwan eba and a basa constantly. Only then they non-stop a very, very bad. And what had the signs we know who say it happens now. Then when they test it, not only the antibiotics, okay, about na positive antibiotics. See definitely they have to be isolated because so we at least mistake which is not a good bacteria to have. That's how you differentiate through subheading. There's 2 tests, because some of the symptoms, they can all have the same symptoms, but to narrow down and say, yeah, this particular one, and of course the problem, we have to do as 2 tests for you to know the one. When you to my answer a question now.
yeah, that's it, sister.
Yo, mpacho, your brain to be person busa sama a kwanda ho. Okay, brebusi afọ adwendwen wo mo de ede ba no, mami bi se asemwe. What can be fast say be ebe when you diarrhea so mana ewrana kosi embrebe. Now, many su bi ne mo Ghana. Na me western region Kobe for born in Sma. We French kwan kojo wa for na zenabona ade. Na me sa or how be. Na me yes major ma arane. Now, me so lucky said my baby will feel her. I'm sorry, my name is oil nest. I don't know true a do be mamma do a look a white. So me quarter said do na men the end stop. No question a boy be pie. Na minimum do not stop it. My me and into worker says the Wujana will run another and miss through. And to imagine say, and as I make say, I didn't start to 1 2 years air no. for Quemisna won't stop because Miss So says a quenima, a bit mamma, if the one shall bit my money because they are making no, the atom no, if they are my men or honor or boamia, minimum the atom. And into no maybe says another makers Argentina says start to 1 to 2 for Quemino, wouldn't pay to be enough, won't stop, so that they are or her be a banner, a trobicam. Now, minim wagon chair, I won't what can say, maybe a so German and ran now for a while. And the members in this.
Okay, Uncle, did I say? So, Senator made church the E. coli diarrhea, say a mild to moderate. The best way to treat diarrhea is already hydration. I believe say do na ma minimal quota. I don't know say ORS, but me can ORS. Come on, some time can ORS a lot, but you come Ghana there, we say ORS not a lot. ORS and I say hydration, say say, and I say we couple, but some person benum say cry. Pedialyte, Gatorade, those in the money nan a bois MRD. Will electrolytes no to stay back where they won't get too weaker because so area right and my way weak because potassium and chine woni pedium nina is coming out, everything is coming out, everything is just coming out into offer sa these fluids now a bois Emma and Yama, and I say yes, electrolytes now a system a way a saw nuna as switching. It puts everything back into place. Emma unya ahodim. The more now no. Yes, you may be going to the bathroom there, but after a while, no, then it will stop. Come has say, like I was saying, say we a healthy person. That's a oba. Now, about Dr. Honor, because I'm having diarrhea, say, they're not going to give it to you. The reason why I said antibiotics, these antibiotics, we don't need to be taking them because they're supposed to help with our digestive system. But the toxins, this diarrhea and as symptoms now, we have to make sure we have to let it run a course. Say a bit free nipedium. Say what antibiotics now will stop here. It won't okay, a best stop it diarrhea, but the bacteria is still in your gut or reactivate itself. Into the CDC, NIH will be almost suggested say diarrhea. Your coli back people have friend travelers diarrhea or you just have to let it run its course and just make sure we'll hydrate more to help stop it too. No? Like some if I can a more plain rice, a more starch offer a more now all the vegetables now dear starch no a binding to diarrhea no apple will send a swear my try your best say we don't take too much antibiotics because it actually weakens our immune system. It is a wound here you shouldn't be taking it. Simple.
Mr. question here, sir. Okay, baby, for you, do you do see a new day? If they are young cooking money and be Nipa Kumia can measure the chef. Now, just starting school, no, the Omukacha and say, Adrianibiano, money being too much and what, and say, this and Nam said, the woman say, almost the young cooking medium rare. Now, it be said reason why almost as I said. If baby is a vegetable broccoli in your man, so we win a mona and then a boy. And this son at it what a number it is. And to name be an ukukun medium rare and then a boy the pediano more. No ukukam and yes, well done now. And what BBM now, what cause a year being as more cause a young cooking, you know, and then my make us ask them win any business. Near a health organization, as home the church. One may say it's a Duane, need your weekend. Send an echo.
Okay, so okay, that's it. One thing I forgot to say is Chrome has say use thermometers for a cookie, right? I want to say Ghana for baby use thermometer, you know, we just eat it. Use thermometer. And the Chrome has say from a Adriani to say there is a temperature you're supposed to cook it to. A fish, there's a temperature you're supposed to cook it to. Vegetables, there's a temperature you're supposed to cook it to. Inti, we'll call the school no, church because the BBR what temperature is already. To me, I hate it. Yes, I didn't go into detail of that because we're not focusing on cooking partner. But so with this temperatures, and I tell you, we use the thermometer now. It will show you, say, this is the temperature. That's where you're supposed to cook it to. Meat, yes, you are come has a steak, restaurant. So me medium rare, me per se. I'm sorry, me medium me fat I look moja bia and shemenum because say and yes, I tell me say me di and nama moja. Come has for the years. That's how I'm wearing on penum. If I go to a restaurant, not say there is steak. Yeah, the mamia would the medium rare, eba mitrum a red, no who's the moja from Muba, and not that made this it's to everybody's taste. Yes. I has to oh yellow too much. I say oh killing nutrients no woman. And I'm not crying on first of all no crying. It's not even healthy for us. And I yedi. Into I didn't say look moja. Media and ya midi. But medium rare, yes, I've seen it all. That's how it's supposed to be. But another to individual no. The way I open I'll say we that's how you're supposed to, but you're supposed to use the like the thermometers, idea Adriana, for you to know say this is the temperature you're supposed to cook Adriana to. Sympathy uncle, so my answer a question now.
Yeah, mommy, me know ya just say number work my boy on no better for me come in
Yeah.
No, that in church now, school, more churches, and Yamana, and German make casa, but
yeah,
standing in the middle,
right.
And
Nase.
Yo, it was your fault, that's all a break crank, so be was a busa and as a moa, the summer, a queen or was.
You you mentioned a rice, power or bind a nadi. A lot of times is from diarrhea and that. One thing why you buy rice water or rice porridge. Is it in the same line there? Because to bind the nadi water mawana or that is for ORC effects.
Okay, thank you. Rice water, and yes, the starch, is still in there. It's oh dear, a beboy, yes, a mano, a yensiono, a bois for hydration. At the same time, me too, a bed binded to say the diarrhea now, back on Inyano to help say bed stopping. It's the same effect now and a mano as well.
Get us.
I was your best of 4 minutes as of 5. So we person can be over to the other. So being
another on the prevention, you talked about there be a kitchen you clean a lot of times in Crawford will advise against the use of harsh chemicals like Clorox rather or recommend vinegar use. I don't know if you have any idea about that now. What do you say about it? We use vinegar to clean ebia boards na cutting boards na rather than they use Clorox and chlorine based for it.
Okay. Yeah, cutting board would Adriani, if you try Adriani was it's best. Yes, the vinegar is very, very good. Ubetumi they clean. Even crap say if you don't have the vinegar, insione samnano is the best thing. What they are hokro, what cleaning the fine. Ubia, why yeah, SOA then you switch to somewhere what clean me again. Say the chopping board in the back when you make sure say you clean it well and so then what you suit the next one. So we Diania, those sprays, cleaning sprays, it has to be keep it away. When we be beer, and our person will cleaning the whole kitchen, and then you can use that to clean the whole kitchen, and yet in between the one because the chemicals then more.
Yo, that's
Yo, Abushafo, your minutes or two will be quick and to be any video and member mammy and the final thought about now we are opening a degani one case about Bompan where she are Osmisame. It's a queen of her. And to mammy, so be any question there and Mama can have to do final thought about now we are opening Namesa Camo, Yonkodoradio and SDA radio also. I need to know open so could say and send me this ya YouTube was a backamo, nothing was a TV. That was money.
Yeah, that's very uncle. So and then we studied about bacterial infections. Kind there are so many types of them, but we focus on the one now, and then they produce the toxins that if it's me, ama nipediano, and what teacher man I say we been diarrhea, and I say any other of the symptoms, you say the symptoms are with me, the diarrhea, the cramping, the stomach pains. How to treat it? I said, then make sure say we hydrate a lot. One more, we have a diarrhea. At the same time, make sure say we rest for the body now to rejuvenate itself. If not to the point said you cannot, you can see a doctor and have the stool test, because it could be too severe for the individual. And I say if you say if you are fair now bathroom a lot, me emergency room for them to hydrate you. And say younger than 5, so not say any of this not happening. And tonight now make sure say Akolano or the narco hospital to say we'll start to do some changes. Say Akolano is not acting the same way. Akolano the skin crop or look different, or look pale, or look like says something is wrong. And he has sorted made or call hospital. How do we prevent it? Hand hygiene, hand hygiene, proper hygiene is very, very important. So maybe we make sure that we wash our hands. Seminar, any soap is the basic thing to use. Say if you can't now say you have to use hand sanitizer, so fine. But when it comes to the we make sure say we use seminar anything to wash our hands, your bathroom, we use all of these things to make sure that we don't pick up this bacteria and then spread it to our family members and I said to our loved ones. See, aha, and I'm DBC, now coupon share this night, so no kind of not amen.
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 I saw Bobon Pan, I just see the pajamas,
Recording stopped.
So, stop as a Ubisa Sama, Minima de Ja.
Mecha me pasara.
Okay.
Sarah, Yamishra.